We don't do nothing right around here, people. Anyway, despite his first promo Saturday night and the fact that WWE expects Roman Reigns to start landing movie roles, so he will need time off as a result, Fightful Select sources say that they don't expect him to leave anytime soon. He's heavily featured in creative plans for the foreseeable future. So there you go. But at the same time, I still don't know. This is what they claim. This is what WWE saying. WWE saying we're good. Roman's going to be here. So there you go. All those people who thought the promo Saturday meant something, and for all the people who are saying, whatever is coming, WWE does not believe that. All right, the next rumor came off as disrespectful to me, but it might not be. WWE has set up something between Reigns and Shinsuke Nakamura, but ringside news sources tell them the match isn't seen as a stadium-worthy show. So, a stadium show, it's not seen as stadium show words. It's just there for us to use for Roman when we need it. That was the part that came off. It was like, oh my God. Like, wow.
Very disrespectful.
So that just let you know right there what I just mentioned earlier about Shinsuke having a chance to win. Like I said, no chance. In an item about Bray Wyatt's high asking price, Wrestling Observer newsletter notes Wyatt was believed to be the third or fourth highest paid performer on the WWE roster when he was making $4 million per year. And he was cut, and it was at the time he was cut, he was a major merchandise draw also. So that's what goes into his high asking price. Makes sense to me. I ain't got no problem with that. Make your money.
Yeah, y'all fired him.
I don't care how much you love AEW. I ain't got to take no pay cut. If I was making $4 million, I'm finna try to see if I can work out another $4 million deal. What you mean?
Exactly.
At least. Then he just got a fresh baby.
And you fired me because I cost too much. Of course I'm going to ask for more money.
Come on, man.
That's how I know you really want me back.
Regarding AEW talent on Stardom shows, Wrestling Observer reports that Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa aren't at the top of the Japanese promotion wish list. The ones Stardom really wants are Toni Storm, Jamie Hayter, Hikaru Shida, and Tai Conti. They actually fit really well from a wrestling style standpoint. That last part was for me. Everyone they just listed makes a lot of sense from what I know about Joshi wrestling. But that doesn't mean Britt Baker and Thunder Rosa can't wrestle them styles either. But it actually makes sense why they would point out them.
Those if that's specifically. True. They don't
think about how they work.
They don't just want names. They want people that's going to fit their aesthetic and actually be a use to the company.
Yeah, and they want people who knows? Maybe the workers at Stardom have something to do with this list. Also, like who are you interested in working with? Yeah, who are you interested in working with? Mia Yim's weekend appearance for Impact wasn't a one-shot deal. Fightful says she signed with the company. For some reason, WWE added shots of a 2012 crowd reacting to John Cena's return as Dr. Thugonomics to WrestleMania Backlash's video package on Madcap Moss and Happy Corbin feud. It was also Brock Lesnar was featured in an old clip, and he tweeted about that odd edit. So yeah, that was the clip I did see of the guy who gets really excited when Brock Lesnar's music hit. He went viral for that, and he saw him in this clip for this feud, and he was like, "What's going on?" So yeah, there you go. I have no clue why they did that, but that's there you go.
Sounds like somebody's gonna get fired.
Maybe, but I don't know. It's an editing mistake. I don't think they probably deserve it, but yeah. Molly Holly produced Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair's match at WrestleMania Backlash. And positive reviews for that has led to people pointing out the positive impact the Hall of Fame has had on the women's division since she was hired last year. 100%. She's a genius. Everyone loves Molly, and if she was the agent for that match, she did an awesome job of telling the story. You know, having Charlotte go over the edge at the end there and be like, "Happy Mother's Day," and then Ronda like, "Oh yeah, okay, now I'm breaking your arm. It's over." So. Yeah, to kind of have that story being told there and making Charlotte out to be that evil like woman who hates the women who has kids. Like, it's just genius. It's just genius.
Some baby haters over here.
Doing that for Heat is just a really smart move. I love it. Dave Meltzer said that even if Tony Khan wanted to do the Owen Hart tournament with a round robin format similar to the G1 Climax, AEW never had the TV time necessary to do that and build other matches for pay-per-view. I don't even know why you're talking about that. That's obvious. Like, have you seen a G1 Climax? Those shows are 3 hours and 30 minutes if you're lucky.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what...
When the full roster was going at it.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you split up, a block, you can get stuff done in 2 hours and 30 minutes. But yeah, that's about the range. You got 2 hours and 30 minutes and 3 hours and 30 minutes. And both of those options are too long for AEW television.
Yes. Yes, they are.
Bryan Danielson wants to wrestle for a Seattle-based independent Defy, for the Seattle-based wrestling company Defy. But Wrestling Observer newsletter reports that AEW wants Danielson's first appearance in his home market to be when they debut there, even though they don't currently have a West Coast date planned after their Southern California shows in early June. So they're basically, I guess that means
they're holding him hostage.
They're making him wait on that because they don't want him to debut at that independent show.
That's just selfish.
Bryan Danielson has talked about it a lot, by the way. At least from what I've been hearing from all the news and rumors and all that, he wants to wrestle everywhere. He has not been. He's not hidden that he couldn't wait for the Japanese borders and all that stuff to open because he wants to fight everywhere
and everyone. To be honest,
everywhere and everyone. Yeah. Mia Yim's contract with Impact is only for 6 months per Fightful, but both sides are open to restructuring if things go well. So good luck to Mia. It was great to see her back out there doing her thing.
No more long-term contracts.
Yeah, doing what she's good at, man, and I have no problem with it. She was with Impact before, so she has more. She has experience in dealing with them, so she knows what's best for her in her career. PW Insider says there has been talk of adding a fourth member to the Judgment Day, and I think that's necessary. I don't think. I think you need someone else. You need one more guy. If you want to. It'd be weird if it'd be another woman and just the two guys. I guess that would be the first time I've ever seen a faction where it was two guys and two girls. Maybe it's another one out there. I'm pretty sure it's somewhere in the annals of wrestling where that worked out, but that's rare. So it's probably going to be another guy. Who is that guy? Who is a floundering babyface is the only person I can think of right now, and who fits their aesthetic. So yeah, I don't have a problem with another member in Judgment Day. I do think another person is necessary because most great factions have something where you got two people who would be considered a good team. Mm-hmm. Then you have another person that's another mid-card or another champion. So maybe if you want Rhea to go after the Raw Women's title, you go Edge to go after the World title. Now you still have two people to go after the Raw Tag. Or if you want to mix it up, they can end up with all the goals if they wanted to. It's kind of like in a similar fashion with the Bloodline. You need two people, I think. You need someone to bump. Jimmy has been the bump guy for the Bloodline.
Yes.
Jimmy has taken most of the ass whoopings. Like, Jay has been protected a little bit less. I mean, Jay is nowhere near as like great or as he was when he was fighting Roman, but he's still obviously the right-hand man. I can tell the way they work their matches. And then Jimmy is the one who takes a lot of the abuse in their faction. And that's what I mean. So I say I can definitely understand them getting another guy. For what it's worth, Sean Ross Sapp noted he had WWE sources who said Roman Reigns was factored into plans before word of his not being advertised for 2 months came out. Piggybacking on that, Andrew Zarian says he has someone at WWE telling him Roman Reigns isn't actually expected to take time off from TV. He'll just miss those smaller house shows. So that's why he wasn't promoted. So, again, all the uncertainty seems to be around the fact that he wasn't advertised for a few months. That had no bearing on whether or not he would be on television or whether he would be prominent. I knew it didn't make sense because why would you give him the double belts if you guys weren't sure how much he would be there? Why would you even do it?
Exactly.
Right?
Like, you got to have long-term plans for people when you decide to give them or to merge titles in general. Like, you can't just I'm going to give you this title and then I won't see you in 3 months. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, makes no sense. Based on feedback, it looks like WWE may be looking into doing another season of WWE Evil. So they've been giving out polls and asking who you want to see. So next, so using surveys, it sounds like they've decided to bring it back. I haven't watched an episode of it yet, but it looks like it's done in a nice way. It's a nice documentary style type of way. So I have no problem with it. I'll definitely have to catch up, but at this point, the list of things I have to catch up on is like the list of 1,000 holes that Jericho had in WCW. Like it's one of those lists.
It just keeps going.
It never stops. Corey Graves told Wrestle Talk he's got some interest in a different role in WWE. So than just doing commentary. So he wants to do others. It's another role he has interest in. So we'll see what that is.
I think we already knew that.
We definitely knew about him wanting to come back to wrestling. I don't know. He talked about this like that wasn't the role in particular. It's not wrestling. So I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe it is wrestling and that's what he means. But it's not really clear on the future of Corey Graves. We'll keep an eye out. WWE still plans to do an Usos versus RK Bro match. But as of right now, they do not plan to unify the Raw and SmackDown tag titles. So there you go. What's the point of this feud? It has nothing to do with the belts. I'll tell you that. There's speculation from WrestlingNews.co and elsewhere that WWE is returning to their plan to split Randy Orton and Riddle. I think it's obvious. The thing is, Randy is so over as a babyface, and I just don't see them making Riddle the bad guy, right? Like Riddle, it'd be a nice change to see him like that, but Riddle turn on somebody before Randy, dude? Yes. That's tough. That's a tough thing to convince me of.
Has he been playing dumb the whole time?
For the most part, he has been playing. I guess that would be the only way to explain it. You would have to say he's been playing dumb. But I will say in this way that the fact that he is so over as a babyface might be the reason why. Like, people are loving Randy that much. They see he's having that much fun. That I think they feel like it'll be the perfect time for him to just turn. But the thing is, I feel like if it makes too much sense, people will be happy and still cheer for Randy. Yeah. Because we know Randy at this point. Like, how do you feel sympathy for Riddle?
I will never.
They have to execute it in a certain way to get that sympathy. Because the only reason why I have to say this is because everybody throughout this entire team has been telling him, don't trust Randy.
Yes. Again.
So it's like, again.
No, you knew.
Even though Randy's been calling him his friend for a while.
You knew what horse you were hitching your wagon to. He has shown you time and time again that he is not a tag team wrestler. And he does not have friends. So if you, sir, decide that you want to take that leap, I have no sympathy for you. I will laugh at you as you get RKO'd repeatedly. Yeah. And here we go, by the way, in the next line of them once again saying that someone has priced themselves out. Several promoters tell Fightful Select they've reached out to Cesaro with offers to do everything from autograph signings to matches, but none have been accepted so far. Some told the site the former WWE superstar has priced himself out of the independent market. And again, I was like, what the hell do you want from him? Why would he take less money? He has a coffee business that he just promoted. Why would anyone take less money when they don't have to? He doesn't need this. And by the way, I don't think he fit their aesthetic. But if you need a new member who I think would be useful as hell in Judgment Day, throw Cesaro and make him be all dark and and gothic. I ain't never seen a gothic Cesaro. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? But I'm just saying, he's too valuable to not do anything. But again, I understand. Hey, man, don't bring your price down, Cesaro. Forget them people. You know what I wanted to say. I don't care. They'll be all right. They asking for your time. You don't budge on your price, brother. That's all I got to say. Exactly. They asking for you to take bumps. Stick up for yourself. Don't budge on their price. Bray, Cesaro. If they can't afford you, they can't afford you. It's that simple. Period. Dave Meltzer wrote on L4W Online. By the way, you see how much Meltzer is in these rumors? None of this got to do with Kota Ibushi. That's what I was talking about earlier. He has a lot to say about everything else right now. But on the board, AEW will be getting a big push at the upfronts. Warner Bros. Discovery promoting AEW shows to advertisers would be a good sign that they're a newly merged company and is planning to stay in the wrestling business. So, according to Meltzer, things are good. But if you're looking to worry about AEW's television future, Deadline reports that Brett Wheats, I don't know how to say his name, is out as general manager of TNT, TBS, and True TV. And he had a hand in launching Rampage and Battle of the Belts when he was running the so-called T-Nets. I don't know who called it that, but there you go. I don't know who called it that, but there you go. So Russell Observer Radio, once again, Meltzer mentioned that AEW will be doing a blood and guts match soon. He said most likely it will feature Jericho Appreciation Society against
Moxley, Bryan Danielson, Santana, Eddie Kingston, and Ortiz. Now, how the hell the Blackpool Club gonna get into that? Maybe I haven't been paying attention. The end of May is coming up. But yeah, that sounds great. If it is, that probably would be something that makes sense. If they're gonna do that with those guys involved, it will probably be good fun. While discussing Roman Reigns' part-time schedule, Meltzer said the success of WrestleMania 38 Night 1 helped convince WWE they don't necessarily need the top men's title to be heavily featured. WWE also doesn't feel an urgency to book the champion on pay-per-view events like Hell in a Cell because the Peacock money is guaranteed regardless of the card. Oh, my goodness, man. He just talking about them like they don't care about nothing anymore. Anyway, I get it. I agree that they don't necessarily have to go main event. Or like, I agree that the male title, world title, does not have to be the main event of their pay-per-view. Like, they can now start to lean more, okay, Bianca versus blah, blah, blah is the main event. You know what I mean? Or, you know, whatever. In Ronda, that's probably more for Ronda now that I think about who it is. But again, who is the main event for Ronda? Like, who else on SmackDown you finna watch Ronda fight in the last match and be like, you know what, that was a good last match? Raquel? We gonna rush Raquel?
Bayley.
They better bring Bayley back ASAP. It have to be something like that, and that's possible. I'm not saying it's not possible and whatever, but like you just mentioned, one name. The problem is there's more than one premium live event, so it's like, all right, where do you keep going? But again, maybe they can alternate, do other things. Like sometimes we Ronda next pay per view if you don't want to do Roman here, do Bianca. But you know, we know SummerSlam Survivor Series. We know Roman will be last there most likely. Yes. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. But everyone has something to say about this part-time schedule that Roman is on. Even though we also have other rumors saying he won't be that part-time. So I don't know what the hell going on.
No one knows.
Yeah, and then it's like back to your question. You asked me like, why are they not merging the tag titles? I don't know. Nothing makes sense.
They don't have a tag division. The Viking Raiders went back to NXT.
But that's all the more reason to merge.
I know.
Yeah, okay, you're agreeing. Okay, good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's all the more reason to merge. But anyway, Brian Alvarez heard from multiple people well connected. Oh, Brian Alvarez will talk about it. Thank you, Brian. I actually have to say something positive about Mr. Alvarez. Can you believe it? Anyway, Brian Alvarez heard from multiple people well connected in Japan that Kota Ibushi has burned his bridges, not only with New Japan, but the entire pro wrestling industry in Japan. And I basically hinted at that in the opening of this show, that when you bring up that organization and when you bring up the things that he's bringing up and you do it all on your Twitter for all of us to see.
The world.
Even his idol and a guy who I thought loves him professional wrestling wise, like Tanahashi. I know Tanahashi is like, what the hell are you thinking, Kota? You don't do that.
Tanahashi keeping his mouth closed. He was talking about how he just got on a plane earlier. I was like, oh, okay, so you just not going to engage.
Tana don't want nothing to do with that. Because Tana has been waving that flag for years. The last thing Tana would do is any problems he had, he would not bring it public. I know that much. If he had a problem with people, he ain't doing it like that.
Not at all.
Kota, but that's how I know. Kota is fed up. He's the definition of done with these people. I don't know if this means we'll be seeing more Kota on this side of the state, like this side of the world, because of what he did to himself in Japan and pro wrestling. We don't know what's going to happen. All I know is that, you know, for years they have reported for a while that Kota Ibushi is a weird guy. I've seen all types of stuff that people say about Kota Ibushi. And I always wonder, like, where the hell all this come from? He's so good. Where the hell does all this weirdo stuff come from? Just because he says stuff that other people would never say and do things. But that is why he's willing to buck the entire system. And if the people in DDT are right, he's done this before where he's like, all right, I have a problem with something, I'm going to let you know. I'm not just going to, you know what I mean? And I respect the energy, but we have to be honest. It don't take much to burn them bridges.
Nope.
And when we say burn, we mean they're gone. It's not, you know, this ain't, you know.
Finito.
So, yeah, this is like I said, serious stuff. And I'm glad my room was touched on it. Layla Hirsch, knee injury from last month on AEW Dark. Regarding that injury, is belief among talents that she tore her ACL and or MCL. So either way it goes, she's going to be out for a while. That sucks. I hate to hear that. Layla is cool.
She was just hitting her heel stride.
Yep, she was just getting started. And last but not least, Chris Jericho has recently filed for trademarks, Chris Jericho, not AEW. Chris Jericho has recently filed for trademarks on the terms The Wizard and The Watch. And yes, that is true because they wrestled him. I think he wrestled someone on Dynamite and they literally said blank versus The Wizard, Chris Jericho. So that's his new thing. You know, Demo, he has more things than anybody. Just since 2019.
Yeah, that's
Demo God, Le Champion, The Wizard now. Sports entertainment. I could go.
Painmaker.
The Painmaker. Like, we could go forever. No one defines themselves more than Chris Jericho. But yeah, there you go. The Wizard. Have no clue what is a reference to or what does it even matter, but that's his new thing.
The Wizard of Oz?
I don't know what they got to do with showing appreciation to Jericho.
I don't know. I don't either.
I don't know, but maybe it's an explanation from a promo that I just haven't watched because I haven't been watching AEW.
Ratings
He
Wizard.
definitely, I'm pretty sure I'll get it explained before I don't get it explained. It'll make sense, I guess. I'm going off all his other names. All his other names made sense in hindsight, so maybe I just got to watch the promo where he coined it because that's usually how he does it. Anyway, those are the rumors for today.